Hi everybody, Nubkeks here. In today's video, I want to respond to your comments, seeing as I think I put out a couple of very controversial videos the last couple of days. Those placement games in particular, as well, of course, the Deathwing video, the Salt Alert video. Yeah, a lot of dislikes on that, a lot of comments, a lot of criticism. So I want to sort of dive in and talk about some of it. I also want to reply to a couple of other questions, which I think were interesting too, and have some interesting discussions. So let's dive into it, right? First of all, I just want to talk really quickly. I actually got this comment just a couple hours ago, 3 hours ago, and I thought, hey, this is actually a really nice comment. I disagree with it, but I think it's a good comment. And I think this is an interesting way to start the video with a bit of a discussion, right? So this is on the Nano Boost Li Ming video. And it's from Poifix, or I'm not sure exactly how to say it. But people giving Nano Boost to Li Ming triggers me every time. I just don't think it's good enough. Giving it to Zeratul or Greymane would have been better this game. Yep, Q-Build Zeratul would have been a much better Nano target. Well, they won, but anyway, I think Nano on Ming is a waste when they're better targets. Ming's spells are too slow, long cooldowns, she kind of deals enough damage anyway if she gets good hits. Played a decent amount of both Ana and Ming, and IMO, Nano and Ming is not good enough. Ana should have picked with someone who has fast, reliable burst damage on lower cooldowns, or with someone who's powerful heroics you can power up with Nano, preferably some AoE. Don't know why people are so hard stuck to Nano a hero. That's not really great to Nano in the first place. Heroes with more reliable damage target Nano. Stop with the hard stuck Nano Li Ming mentality. It works, it's not good. Okay, so yeah. Like I said, I think it's a good comment. Okay, reading it through there out loud, there's definitely a bit of repetition and whatnot, but what I liked about this comment, and like I said, I do disagree, but what I like about it is that it's a good structure for an argument. Just the general structure, which is you make your point, you say, I don't think Nano Li Ming is a good target, you give a reason for that, and then, spells are too slow, etc., etc. You give an alternative solution, saying, hey, Zeratul or Greymane, and then you kind of explain a little bit about why you think that. So it's good. It's like, make your point, give a reason why, give an alternative, and again, give a reason why. And I think that's a good structure for the argument. And like I said, I think I think there are some decent points here. I think there's a couple of mistakes when you look at the analysis. I would say that Li Ming is the best target for Nano Boost in the game, and that's why she's picked for it so often. I think where you made the mistake here is that her spells are too slow, long cooldowns, and she does enough damage anyway. Well, does enough damage anyway. I don't really know what that means. Like, boosting up really good damage is really good, so that's just great, right? The spells being slow, that's a fair point. The orb is relatively slow. And long cooldowns, she definitely doesn't have long cooldowns. Li Ming's Q is very short cooldown. And this is actually, here's a good tip, right? Which I don't think I made clear in the video, but when you are playing with the Ana as Li Ming, it's the reason I went for the talent build I did in this game, picking up Calamity at level 7 and picking up Wave of Force at level 10. I think they're very important. Calamity, because it turns your teleport into a very potent offensive cooldown. It does a lot of damage, right? And with the Nano Boost, you can just spam out multiple teleports really fast and get tons of damage out of that Nano Boost. And same thing with Wave of Force. Disintegrate, because it's a big channel beam. Nano Boost doesn't make it channel faster. So especially once you get resets, touch on those in a second, you can get Wave of Force resets during your Nano Boost too, which is phenomenally good. Whereas Disintegrate resets aren't really going to do you many favors. And again, that's another thing to touch on with Ming. I think that makes her so good at the Nano Boost. Is that, well, she doesn't, in the first place, she doesn't have long cooldowns. Your level 4 talent, by the way, you should always take the orb talent, which does give you cooldown reduction and mana back on your orb if it goes half distance. So all of her basic abilities with Calamity, with the orb talent at 4, have short cooldowns. They all do damage, which is really important. Let's see, there was one here where you're saying about like you want someone with an AoE, which Li Ming does have, and again, even more so than having short cooldowns, whenever she does get the kill, they completely reset, including her heroic, and those are nano boosted as well. Li Ming has some problems, obviously, with the resets in terms of mana. She runs out of mana, Nano Boost gives Li Ming mana, so again, you've got another great synergy there. I think one interesting thing to point out, too, is two other nice synergies with Li Ming and Nano Boost. Number one, her spells are slow, and yes, that is, like, Arcane Orb certainly is slow, and the Missile is somewhat slow, too. Like, you do obviously teleport. Calamity is instant quick. You're not really going to dodge that too much, but a big part of counterplaying Li Ming is dodging the orbs, is dodging the missiles. It's positioning properly to not get hit by the Calamity and not get hit by Wave of Force into a bad spot, once Li Ming is nano boosted, those spells come out so fast. She gets multiple casts really quickly. It's very difficult, especially because presumably the rest of her team is attacking you as well. It gets very hard to actually play around them because they're so quick. Tracking them becomes very difficult. So I think that's a nice synergy. And then also on top of that, Li Ming blinking all over the place. She's small, she's hard to hit, so it's difficult to actually do damage to her in return, unless you have point and click or point and click CC to actually lock her down. So for example, like a Cocoon from a Nubkeks is a nice little counter. Nano boosted Li Ming, point and click Cocoon, lock her up quick, so she's not going to do anything. But yeah, now that being said, I think there you go. Like I said, I think you made a mistake here in the analysis, but I actually think, you're right. Q-Bill's Zeratul is a great target to nano boost. And there are, in fact, there's other heroes that are kind of surprisingly good to nano boost. So I try to think of a couple, because I read this when I was out on a walk. I think Sonya is a great example. Sonya doesn't even have mana to get back. She's not really a spellcaster, but Sonya works surprisingly well with nano boost. She pops that Wrath of the Berserker for bonus damage. Her Qs actually start hitting really hard, and they, of course, gave her Fury. And then the nano boost giving her the faster cooldown. She can spam out more Qs, giving her even more Fury. The Whirlwind doing extra damage means extra healing. Her slams start hurting really hard. It all adds up. And a surprising hero you would never think, you're usually thinking of nano boosting on mages. Putting it on a Sonya is weird, but it does work. Or I think another example, which I haven't seen. I've seen the Sonya several times. I haven't never seen a Murky nano boost. But I wouldn't be shocked if I'm talking about like really late game now. I think once Murky gets the slime talents at 4, which increases the slow of the slime, and it increases the damage that the slime does when you reapply it, and then you have the level 16 where every 3 basic attacks you slime somebody. And then I think, especially level 20, if he gets the big Murky where he's got twice as much health, so he's nice and tanky, I think that big Murky gets in your team and you nano boost him and he's just spamming slimes like crazy. I actually think that could be ridiculously strong too. So there you go, a couple of weird ones. Greymane, for example, I don't really see that one so much. Most of Greymane's damage comes from his basic attacks. That's what you're looking for with nano boost. You're looking for heroes that have mostly spell damage, or preferably as well have some good crowd control or whatnot, something cool built into their spells. Like Sonya with the spear, nice crowd control, nice damage on the spells too. Greymane, not so much. Like his W ability is just a buff that increases the attack speed. So number one, that doesn't really synergize with nano boost at all. Greymane doesn't have any mana issues either. But then more so, it's like his E just switches you into wolf form, and really most of your damage is coming from your basic attacks in working form. Nano boost is great for his heroic, and I think, maybe there is something to be said for that Worgen Greymane, just that rapid pace, with like high APM, just doing basic attack Q over and over again, and then like a big nano boosted go for the throat on a couple of heroes afterwards. Maybe it could be really good. I'm not jumping out of my seat to put it on him, and certainly not in comparison to a Li Ming. I think you saw several good nano boosts in this game as well, if you want to check that out and you're interested. So there we go. Let's get that one. Another thing I wanted to talk about was some comments on this one, which is people asking about Falstad. So it's possible that I did misspeak. I thought my intent was to say that I think Falstad is weak in this draft. Now, personally, actually, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of Falstad in general. He's all right. He's not bad. I don't love him, but he is a decent hero. But in this draft, and this was a map on Infernal Shrines, I think it was really weak. So I just want to explain why real fast. And again, just to give you an idea for the draft, that this was the final pick. So we had everything else locked in. I know that some people were annoyed about this as well, that I was saying Falstad was weak. Well, this is his win rates, so you can see that he is very good on some maps, like really good. But on Infernal Shrines, it's actually his weakest map. He's a 46% win rate. Well, let's talk about why, which in fact we can ignore the draft for that. We'll come back to the draft in a second. Oops, I did this in the wrong fucking order. I fucked up. Oh well. But why is he bad in Infernal Shrines? Well, what are the strengths of Falstad? He is, well, interestingly enough, I'm not so sure with the new patch how good he will be as a solo laner, because the experience globes, they're not great for ranged heroes, so maybe he's actually a bit nerfed as a solo laner in that sense. I'm not sure. But certainly before this patch, where there's no experience globes, and you just needed to be, within quite a long range of minions to get the experience, Falstad was a very good solo laner. His Q with the line coming out and back goes through the minions, because they walk in a line, so you can do lots of damage to minion waves. He has the global with flight, so he can easily soak a lane and fly into the objective, etc. The way his W ability works, the lightning rod, you stick it on a hero and it keeps zapping them, so it makes him actually quite good in that 1v1 in the solo lane sort of opportunity. Like if a melee hero comes in on you, you can really punish them with that. It's difficult to trade and get good value when you've got the Falstad lightning rod on you, and obviously his Q slows. He can barrel roll away, so he can escape from you, he can escape from ganks, and he could just sort of slowly poke down melee heroes who are the typical solo laners with his basic attacks, that sort of thing. So that's one of his big strengths. The global I already mentioned. Another strength is bribe, right? He can take the bribe talents in the W build, which is the most common one. So that's obviously really good for stealing away mercenary camps, and I think that ties in a big part into some of these maps. Like so, Infernal Shrines, for example. And certainly in this case, right, we go, okay, so Falstad's a good solo laner. Well, that's not that important on Infernal Shrines, and the global's not that important on Infernal Shrines either. And we already have Rexxar, so this is the thing. We already have Rexxar, and we have Johanna Hanzo as well. We've got tons of wave clear. We've got the best solo laner in the game. So we're really not at all worried, actually, about needing wave clear or needing to control the waves. We don't actually need that aspect of the hero. So that's not much good. Compared to, let's say, Sky Temple. Really big map. Where you can soak multiple lanes and you can fly in. There's also a boss on Sky Temple, which you control with your Gust. Bribe is great on Sky Temple. Compared to Infernal Shrines, Bribe on Infernal Shrines versus Bribe on Sky Temple. Well, Infernal Shrines, you've got the 3 camps down the bottom. Well, it takes 3 bribe charges to take over one of those camps, and they're really shit. Compared to Sky Temple, where you can steal the Siege Giants, only takes 2 charges, and they're really strong, actually. And also because the map is so large, it can be much easier to invade that camp. And that's a great thing to steal, do tons of damage, and they have to respond to it. You can also, with 4 charges, you can build up the 4 charges, you can steal their bruiser camp, which again is doable, especially bearing in mind Sky Temple, it takes time, you have to stand on the objective, so you often have a very good idea where the enemy team is and they can be locked in, so you can make like steal type plays with your global and do some cool stuff. Cursed Hollow, the exact same thing. Alterac Pass, the exact same thing. These are the games, the maps where he's played most. They're the maps where he's played most. He's also played a lot on Dragonshire and Towers of Doom, and you can see he does worse there overall. I would say Dragonshire, it's really like, again, it's hard to steal those Siege Giants. It's a lot harder because there's so many rotations, and it's all about that map control and keeping your position like pushed up on the map. So I think it's much harder to steal those Giants, so the bribe actually doesn't help you much there. Yeah, I think that's kind of an important feature. Towers of Doom has a similar problem with the bribes as well. I'm kind of impressed by Volskaya. I didn't expect that, to be honest with you, but there you go. Obviously, stealing camps is really nice on Volskaya, but I am kind of surprised by that. It's not played the most, so I'm kind of curious about it, but I think some of these it is, right? Another strength, of course, of Falstad is Gust. He's got Gust, right, which can control the bosses and whatnot. So he brings lots of utility. Can solo lane, has global, has a Gust, which can control bosses or push people off of points. Maybe Gust quite useful on the point in Volskaya. I don't know. Yeah, all that sort of stuff. He's got, decent wave clear. His weakness, what are his weaknesses? He's got bribe, sorry. His weaknesses, well, his damage output's really low. His damage output's really not there, right? He's one of the weaker range assassins in terms of damage. You're just not going to do as much as a Li Ming or a Vala or whatever, right? He doesn't bring that strength. And that's what we come to in this game. So I think when you look at this one, you're really going, okay, damage is what we want. And again, going back to, and this is why I wanted to touch on these two together, going back to the question of nano boost, well, we have an Ana, and Ana did go nano boost. I think, in fact, she probably shouldn't have, considering, but she did go nano boost in this game, which is, generally speaking, of course, the better heroic. Hanzo, not a great nano boost target. He's okay. It's kind of awkward, though, to hit all your stuff as the Hanzo. His basic attacks are pretty slow. His Q has a big wind-up, so it's a bit His E doesn't do any damage. His heroic is more about long range stun. It's not really about, fired off quick and a nano boost sort of thing. You could go Dragon Strike, I guess, but that's not usually taken. So we don't have anyone that's good at, remember, we have these 4 heroes. So none of the Falstad strengths are really going to help us here. And he's not very good at the map. We want something to nano boost, preferably. And then, well, just get something with lots of damage, right? Just get something with high, consistent damage. Because you got a very big tanky front line with the Rexxar Johanna to peel off. And they've got some very punishable heroes like the Kerrigan. Something like a Vala, I think, would have been great here. Like, Vala can just kite around the Kerrigan, the Tyrael, and the Uther, no problem. Obviously, Keltis and Zul'jin are dangerous to Vala, but they're very slow walking. They're going to walk at her from the back. So again, she can kind of kite and play around it and probably be okay and get zoned and peeled for by the tanks. So that's, I think, Vala would have been an okay. Obviously not good with nano boost. I'm not sure. Unfortunately, I cut the video before we showed the bans, so I'm not sure what was banned, but you could easily run something. Any of the mages, I think, would work pretty well too. Interestingly enough, I think, did I show the talents at the end? I hope I did. I usually do. There we go. So, and interestingly enough, at the end here, well played by the Kerrigan. Well played by the Kerrigan. I did think the Kerrigan played well in this game, if I remember right. Okay, there's the talents, and you can see he went for a basic attack Falstad build, which I think, I actually think the Boomerang talent is the right choice. Boomerang is good. I think that the basic attack Falstad build, it's not really doing you any favors. Again, in comparison to, let's say, a Vala, who's going to do a lot more damage, plus bring the multi-shot to clear the waves, plus bring stuns against all of these melee dudes that they have. I think that would have been better. Or Vala could even go strafe with nano boost, you know, hilarious. I think stun would be better. Or again, you could imagine Jaina just dropping big burst damage on the Kerrigan when she goes in, and the Uther, the Tyrael, when they go in. Awesome. I think that stuff would have been better. So that's the idea there. Like I said, Falstad, I'm not a massive fan of playing with Falstad myself. However, look, he's on certain maps. Falstad is great when you play with his strengths and build around his strengths. But not in this game and not in this draft. So yeah, a lot of people got very angry about that. Got very angry about me playing Falstad. But yeah, Rexxar is much more useless, you know. So, like, I never said I played the game that well. I'm not that good at Rexxar, but Falstad is definitely not a good pick here. So that was definitely a big concern. Okay, let's dive into the big one, guys. Let's dive into the big one. So this was the Deathwing video, the really salty one. So yeah, one of the things I wanted to address. I want to see what Murden wrote in chat, guys. I could show you what Murden wrote in chat. You're gonna see it today. Hooray! A little bonus at the end because it's funny. But what I wanted, because this was the most common theme in the comments, was this, was lead. Okay, so okay, two things. Was Nubkeks, you're way too salty, which is true. But then we also have this thing, right? They blame Nub because he led Johanna to the boss, which they nearly captured. Murden was already tilted at this point, the others no. To be honest, around 11, you dived into the fort and towers, then led Johanna into your team and ran off, so some criticism is due. No, you're right. Anyways, you led Johanna into your team XD. Some of Murden's, definitely a fan of Nubkeks, but some of Murden's criticism was valid, very valid. He definitely could have approached it better, but leading Johanna into your team did start things on a spiral. To be fair, Murden was right. You did lead the enemy team towards your team when they tried to kill the boss. You failed many Qs, sure. From that point, all went to shit. You blocked him. He probably got pissed. I'll just say, okay, I obviously we're building up to talk about the lead thing. I just want to mark this point. No, I blocked him because he was pissed, right? I blocked him because he was already pissed, and he's not going to get pissed because I blocked him. You don't have any way to know that somebody's blocked you unless you try to whisper them. So unless he was trying to whisper me mid-game and then got... I don't think that's what happened, buddy, but alright. Murden, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Nubkeks isn't much better. He led the enemy to that boss steal right after he ditches Anna to die to Lucio after compromising his team, leaving them in a bad position. To be fair, the boss call wasn't the best one, but it was doable. Murden was really toxic. Problem was that this escalated when you led Johanna to your team. When they nearly captured the boss on the enemy's side. He wasn't self-aware. You were out of place at the moment. Wait, what was the other one? Did I miss one? Where's the other lead? I don't see the other lead that it's highlighting. So that's this one. Where's this other one that it's supposed to show? I don't know where I found that one. Anyway, maybe I'm blind. It's quite possible. So yeah, it's a very common theme. So I wanted to go back through this play, and at least sort of break it down for you guys, because I want to watch it again and I want to break it down, because like I said, this has been commented all the time. Actually, one second, I'm in the way of the mini map and that actually matters. I'm gonna turn my webcam off for this. Sorry, I actually didn't want to, but sorry. Yeah, I guess I could put it over here, but I think it's also useful to see the HP bar and stuff. I'll just show you all the info. That's the best thing. All right, so we'll just zip on here. Basically what happens is we're going to go into this objective fight. I'm going to dive down here, and then we're going to look at the whole question of leading and whatnot, okay? Well, so we've got this big fight here. Grand. This is from my camera view. Whatever. We can change it. We will change it. Alright, so we're just going through. There's a fight happening. Our team has killed Thrall. We're diving in here on top of them. Li Ming taking a bunch of damage. I think she teleports over the wall. She does. Samuro swaps, chases her down, gets the kill. And there we go. 3 kills for us. We're on to this. We're zoning here against the Hanzo. Hanzo's chased down. Okay. And we're just coming in here. Alright. Okay. So this is at the point where we're talking about... we're now talking about leading the stuff into the team. In fact, interestingly enough, if we look at the boss call, right? If you look at the timings on this... Because I think this is important too. So we're coming down here. And it's like, we are down here. This is when the boss calls are coming in. So when we're down here helping with her. So we lose a bit of life there. And the boss is just being started right now. Okay, so it's at this point. It's at this point that we're looking at the idea of leading the team to the boss. Okay, so let's go through it. In fact, we can actually set it to Johanna. Yeah, there we go. I got it right in one. Nice. I was a little bit lucky. All right, so Johanna is chasing us down. And this is where we lead her through the bush and into our team. Okay, this is where we lead her through the bush and into the team. What I wanted to do here was to stop and pause and ask the question. Okay, leading her into our team. Well, let's imagine, hypothetically, what if, again, Johanna walks around this corner. What if hypothetically, like, Chromie is standing here, Murden's here, Anna's here. What if our entire team is just waiting here and Johanna steps into this bush? Okay, we're leading her into our team, but what if they're all waiting in this bush right here? What happens then to Johanna? Is it a bad thing in that case if we lead her into our team, or is it a good thing? Right? Are we leading her into a trap? Now, of course, if we take the image off, we can see that we're not. We're still on the boss. And again, I think at this point it's really worth highlighting the boss's HP. The boss is, I don't know, somewhere between 60 and, I don't know, 75% HP, right? So the boss is... Okay, we had some of the comments, okay? So some of the comments here, right? And they tried, where is it here? I don't know. So I led Johanna into the boss, which they nearly captured. Not quite, right? Not quite. The boss is still super high. But you can see in this circumstance, we're not there. Okay, and now we're turning around. Now, again, I have to reiterate here, and I think this is a really interesting question, is what if our entire team is waiting there and Johanna gets pulled into this bush, right? So she walks into this bush, she gets hit by a stormbolt in the face, she gets stunned. Chromie slaps her with 2 Qs, and then we got a Deathwing Fire Breath going all over her. What happens to this Johanna? Well, she's just kind of screwed, right? Johanna's in a horrible position. Now, obviously, our team weren't in the bush, but at the same time, what is to stop them from being in the bush? What is to stop this from being a good lead? It's an interesting question, right? We don't have a contract with the boss. The boss isn't going to turn around and, send his lawyers to sue us if we don't attack him. There's nothing that is forcing us to attack the 60% HP boss. We're perfectly free to turn around and to actually attack him. And again, it's like, is it a surprise to our team either when Johanna shows up? Well, no, because as you saw, Johanna chased us from down here, literally all the way up here, in full vision the entire way and up through this bush. There's plenty of time for our team. It's very, very easy, and it is the right play, by the way. It is the right play. There's plenty of time to go, okay, you know what, this boss is super high. Just turn around and kill Johanna. And hey, if you killed the Johanna, I think then you're in a decent spot to turn around and maybe take the boss. Or if not, well, it doesn't matter. You don't need to take the boss right now. It'd be great. It would be great to, but you don't need to, right? You don't need to. Now, let's see over there. Just from the Deathwing Breath, Johanna is down to 1/3 hit points, right? So you can just imagine, again, just imagine what happens if people would turn around and actually focus this, rather than worrying about the boss, which has 60% plus hit points. You can see Thrall arrives at this point as well. We got the Chromie loop comes in. Again, Chromie had temporal loop for this play. We hit him with spells and Thrall goes down here. I unfortunately get hit by the boss, which is bad, and now I'm backing off. Oh, I'm backing off. So actually, again, like this brings us to some more comments here as well. This one did make me chuckle. Everyone's upset we let him into the team and starting a downward spiral. I mean, let's actually just this bit first. You know, started things on a spiral. You know, at this particular point, things are actually still just fine. Look, we're a level up. Wherever these guys are low, that's totally fine. Sure, we didn't capture the boss, but the enemy team's not going to capture the boss either. Samuro is depushing mid lane, so that's great. And our team they're perfectly healthy. They're perfectly safe. There's nothing to stop us from just, at this point, just walking away. It's totally fine. We even have a camp split pushing top, right? Bot lane, we've got a great big wave pushing in too. So literally all of the lanes are in our favor. And we're not in any danger here. We can walk away, we can get a great reset, and come back in for this tribute. Alright? So, is there a downward spiral? Does this look like a downward spiral yet? Don't really think so. But, again, where was the one? This is the one that really made me chuckle, right? Which was, okay, I led the enemy team to the boss steal. Right after he ditches Ana to die to Lucio after compromising his team. So this is the point where I've backed off, okay? So this is the point where we've ditched Ana to die to Lucio. Here's Ana. Shit, here's the... Oh, like, actually, now that I look at the replay, I want to formally apologize to the Ana. I can't believe I left her to die to this Lucio. Should have seen it coming, to be honest with you. My God, look at that. Her life is flashing before her eyes right now. It's incredible. It's incredible. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm kind of taking the piss here. We sort of get the idea. So again, I just want to watch this play, right? So we watch this play through. And again, let's look at the moment where it actually turns bad. Like, this is still fine. The problem is now... The problem is this. Because this is where the... I think, again, there's been a few misplays here. Actually, I should go back. Okay. There's a few misplays. Let's just watch it through. Let's see what happens. Okay, so now, again, we're still healthy. We're chasing, looking for this kill. We're chasing. And now the enemy team has respawned. They've arrived. Oop. Big hit there. And now we're in trouble. And you can see here, actually, in fact, as bad as this goes, Hanzo missing this makes it actually not as bad. If this had hit, they would all die. They're all dead. If Hanzo had aimed his arrow a little bit up and predicted, I mean, I don't blame him. I think there's nothing wrong with this arrow, really. I mean, obviously it misses, but he's expecting them to dive more. I think it's totally fine because when the time he fired it, it was looking pretty great for our team and pretty bad for his. So he does miss, but if that had hit, they're all dead. Okay, we've landed our E's. Got the cooldown reduction. We're able to land right now. But at this point, bam, by the time we've landed, everybody else is dead. You see Samuro sent his clone up as well. But by the time we get here, everyone else is dead. And that's somewhat the end of the play. Okay, so this goes on. And, yeah, okay, so, you know, whatever. Ana dies. And then Chromie and Muradin are criticizing the team. Etc. Right. Okay, so that's the play. That's the sort of the full extent of the play. If we go back a little bit here, again, I want to walk you through. Let me point out the misplays. Okay, including mine. Let me again. I think watching this back a second time would be very helpful. Okay, so we got a good team fight here. Great team fight. Great kill up there. I think, you know, I fucked up. Interestingly enough, very few people mentioned it, but I actually thought there was a fight down here later in the game. I should have thought I played like shit, right? I think that was a good death thing, though. So that's fine. So this fight goes well for us. Cool. We're going to get the tribute. Cool. Again, bear in mind here, are we looking for a boss right here, right now? I don't really think so. Okay. So I think this is, you know, the idea of going for a boss right now. It's a little bit of questionable. Muradin is out of health and mana. Me as Deathwing, I'm down to about half health and mana. And you see, again, just great plays by Samuro, though. Bam, he's coming over here. So I think a misplay for me at this point. I think it's right to dive after the Samuro. In the sense, well, no, I think it's an interesting one. I think it's okay for me to come down to assist, and perhaps like we helped peel off the Johanna a little bit. Perhaps. I think where I made a mistake was I did not understand. I think this is a mistake. I didn't understand the capabilities of Samuro in this situation. So I wanted to come down and support him going for the Hanzo. Because I think the opportunity cost, the cost of going for this, I actually don't think there is one. And I'll explain why afterwards. But I think that, well, I take some damage from these turrets and go out of position. I think that is true. I think that is true because I didn't realize that Samuro could just solo kill him. I don't think it's that big of a problem, though. I think the worst thing that should come out of this is Deathwing takes a good chunk of damage. I'm planning to fly up. Can I see my spells? We're planning to, back off and use Dragonfly to get out anyway. And we're gonna, we grab the tribute. Things should be fine. Okay, so that's mistake number 1. Okay, I think I do make a mistake here. Instead of understanding that Samuro could secure the Hanzo kill on his own, come down to support him. It's a mistake, but I actually think it's a fairly minor mistake that doesn't matter too much. Okay, now our team is pinging for boss. And this is when they start the boss. Okay, and this is mistake number 2. So we're starting the boss here. Again, Muradin has gone over this way, again, to try support the team, which I think was fine. You see Samuro. Where is Samuro? Okay, Samuro is... Okay, he's not on the map because he's cast Mirror Image. Samuro is piecing out. And me as Deathwing, I'm down here. Question is this a good time to start the boss? We've got, 15 seconds on Lucio Li Ming and 30 seconds on Hanzo. Is it a good time? Is this a great time to race the boss? The answer here is no, right? If this was a Grey main, if this was a Butcher, then I would think going for a boss play is a much better idea. But this is just a Chromie. She's not the worst hero killing bosses, but she's not the best either. It's going to take a really long time to kill the boss. Muradin can actually be pretty good against the boss with the Q talent at 4, but he doesn't have it this game because it's, it's only a niche talent. I think Samuro is good against the boss, but Samuro is gone, right? And in the same time, we also got this big wave pushing in mid lane, which we do want to deal with. So, hopefully it's more clear right now. Hopefully it's more clear when you look at it. It's like, should we be starting this boss right now, considering that Samuro's over here and low on life, considering that Deathwing is over here and low on life, and considering that Johanna is here and fairly healthy. She's like a third life, but getting healed back up. And Thrall is respawning on his way. And we got 15 seconds on these guys. It's kind of like, are they actually going to be able to race the boss? And will we be able to fight them off after taking damage from the boss with a weak Deathwing? A Muradin who's lowish on mana, half mana, will be able to fight off the Thrall Johanna, and then a respawning Lucio Li Ming, and take the boss before that? And the answer is no. So again, you see here, I think this is really important. Like, I don't know, if we set it to like the Chromie vision, again, it's like there's no surprise here. We can see Johanna coming this whole time. Chromie actually got rooted and stunned. Not sure what she was looking at. But again, we're here. Muradin used his Stormbolt, I think, to damage the boss. And again, look, honestly, guys, I'm sorry, but it's a bad call. Doing the boss is just a really bad call. They're nowhere close to taking it. They're never going to take it. Look, they've got the boss down to, 60% health. And these guys are very close to respawning. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen at this point. And they should have stopped. This Q shouldn't have been used to damage the boss. This should be a Q in her face. And these Qs should be Qs into her face as well. And there should be a, you can imagine an Ana W on top of that. And Ana can set up doses and stuff. Okay, she doesn't actually have the max HP damage talent. But she could certainly sleep dart the Johanna as well. Johanna does have shields, so she'd pop shield. But with the damage, again, this is a full energy Deathwing. The damage that Deathwing does, burn through the shield, temporal loop that Johanna, bam, Johanna's dead. And at that point, honestly, I would say it's still a bad idea to do the boss. Honestly, I would. Like, maybe you could still do the boss at that point. Especially if you kill Johanna, I think, before she pops Iron Skin. I think it's possible that you could still turn around and take the boss, but it's still risky. It's still scary. It's not a surefire thing, even so. You can see that breath. It does a ton of damage to Johanna. And there we go. It's a good sleep dart onto there. And it's still nice to turn around and to punish the Thrall a little bit. You can see tons of damage done to Thrall. But again, to reiterate, at this point, we're still totally fine. In fact, you can hear... Boom. You can hear it's the tribute coming up right now. At this point, we're totally fine to walk away, reset. Bearing in mind... yeah. Right. This is where things go wrong. Right? It's not that... I appreciate that everyone thinks that... I've let them, I don't know. Everyone thinks I've led the team to like this certain boss steal. It's not a certain boss steal. The boss is a really bad idea. And this is where the mistakes are coming in, guys. This is the big mistake. This is the mistake right here. Not this. Look, I've already backed off. I got hit by the boss. I was already in low health. I got hit by the boss. I've got like almost no hit points left. It's bugged. All right, whatever. It's bugged. I've got no hit points. I was too scared of Thrall. I felt that Thrall could kill me with some poke and stuff like that. And with the boss there, I kind of had to back off and go up and use my Zed, which I think is fine. Samuro is over here clearing the minion wave. All right, and look, I've already been talking about team respawns, and now they have respawned, and they're gonna be on their way, right? So what's actually going wrong here is greed. It's greed. We're trying to chase down kills with a Chromie and an Ana and a Muradin with no mana. That rhymed. I didn't mean it to. But yeah, we're getting greedy on the kills and chasing in when we shouldn't. See, Lucio arrives, and we're even still going. We're still chasing, and then Li Ming arrives as well. And it's at this point that you can see everything. This is the point where everything is clearly gone to shit. And there's been like 10 seconds where we could just back off. There was nothing that forced us to go this. It's just greed. It's just greed chasing for that particular kill. It's the same sort of mistake that I made. It's a similar mistake, not the same one. It's a similar mistake to what I made here. But like at this point, our team knows that there's only 3 of them. They know that they're low on mana. They know that Samuro's down here. He's been here for ages. They know that I've backed off because I had no health. And I mean, I'm a giant dragon. They can see that I'm not there, hopefully. So they know it's 3 heroes. They've lost track of the enemy respawns. They've got greedy chasing for kills, and they're gonna get focused down, and they're gonna get killed. Again, we're trying to rejoin this fight as quick as possible. You can see that Samuro, he's recognized that the team is overextended. They've made a mistake, and he's coming in as quickly as possible to try to rescue this. But bam, Muradin is dead. Chromie is dead. Okay, and now at this point, Ana gets picked off. And yeah, and this is why I'm raging so hard in this game. So I hope it's clear, now you've watched it back, what the play actually is, right? What the play actually is, and the actual mistakes that are being made. And it's whereas I feel like Chromie and Muradin are the ones, I don't actually feel, I know. I think it's very clear when you watch it back. Chromie and Muradin are the ones that made the biggest mistakes, that made the biggest misplays. And then it's these 2 guys that now they're dead are turning around to blame me for doing this. So that's why. Okay. And Muradin then spams me 5 times, and Chromie is also criticizing the Samuro. So this is why I just want you guys to understand. I'm gonna turn my webcam back on. Sorry, it flips out every time. I'll flip myself over here, and let's transform this. Hopefully I'm not transforming the wrong thing. Flip horizontal. Boom, there we go. Okay, and now we're the right way around. Okay. So I hope that you guys understand now after this. I hope you guys understand. Again, going to this. I hope you understand my frustration about blaming the boss, you know, all this stuff. Yeah, that's why I was raging so hard in this game. That's why I was so angry, right? Which is because it's 3 things. It's 3 things on top of each other here. It's number 1. Instead of just playing the game, and instead of using team chat to communicate, so instead of using team chat to communicate, set up strategies, instead of using pings to communicate and set up strategies, we're using team chat to blame, and we're using pings to blame, right? They're not being used for cooperation, communication. They're being used just to blame and to vent anger. That pisses me off because it's a dickhead move to do. I don't mind. Like, I rage super hard all the time. You guys watch my stream, you know I rage all the time. I think if you want to rage in person, if you want to rage in your personal space, that's totally fine. But, you know, use team chat properly. Don't misuse the team chat, because that's really important. And all it does when you rage at people like this, when you spam ping someone, all it does is either going to piss them off. It's certainly not going to make them play better. They're probably going to play worse because they're pissed off. And it's going to cripple your ability to team play, because number 1, the other person is not going to want to listen to you anymore because they don't like you. Number 2, they're not going to communicate with you either because they don't like you. So they're going to be less likely to communicate with you properly. So that's like the first thing. They're using team chat to criticize me. Then number 2, they're using team chat to criticize the other guy, the Samuro, who did absolutely nothing wrong. Like, what did Samuro do wrong in this circumstance? He got an awesome kill on, was it Li Ming? Then he got an awesome kill on Hanzo, and he's backed off to clear the Merc camp, which is exactly what he should do. And then as soon as his team completely screws up, as soon as they completely fuck up and go way the fuck overboard, overextending, he responds immediately and comes over. What thanks does he get for doing this? He starts getting criticized by the player that just fucked up, is blaming him for their own mistake, right? So that's number 2. They're criticizing him as well. Number 3, most importantly, you know, if someone tells me I fucked up, and I have fucked up, I'll be a little bit pissed off because I'm like, I don't need to be told I fucked up. I know. And please don't use the team chat for that stuff. I'll still be pissed off, but I won't be overly pissed off. I'm not going to rage like crazy. The reason that I was raging like crazy in this game is because, very simply, they're wrong. And they're wrong. That's the most important thing, because then you take the first two things, which is one, they're using team chat to criticize, and they're blaming me, and they're blaming the Samuro. And whatever you guys think about my play, certainly you can see the Samuro in this case did nothing wrong. I don't think that I made I think I made a small mistake here. I don't think it's a major mistake. I think basically almost everything that went wrong here was based off of the boss call was bad, but that, again, it was a small mistake. It doesn't really matter. Not switching off the boss to kill the Johanna and then getting greedy and chasing for kills, I think are major mistakes. And I think, and yeah, I mean, you can see the biggest mistake is chasing for those kills and getting greedy when Deathwing and Samuro have gone, not tracking the respawns, they got killed. That's the big mistake, right? So it's they're wrong. And then that enrages me for players to go into the chat and to abuse the chat, to spam pings and just be like that noise in your ear, stuff all over the middle of your screen, just blame from a complete position of ignorance and denial. They're completely talking out of their arse. And they're just being rude as fuck, basically. That's what pisses me off, right? This Deathwing. So this is where I blocked the Muradin. I didn't report him now. That was one thing, actually. I got a bunch of comments saying false reports and stuff. I didn't report him at this stage. I just blocked him. So right here, Muradin, he goes in. So this was part one where I thought, you know, okay, this guy, in my opinion, that's something of a feed. You can see, okay, so right here, this is actually, here we go, some fun, right? Here's some fun. I'm going to play out the rest of the video just for you guys. As a special little bonus, because you guys did want to see the stuff what the Muradin wrote in chat, etc. So right there, in my opinion, that's Muradin. He's pissed off after that. He's spamming pings on me. I think he's super tilted. I think he's doing abusive text in chat. I think then he's going to intentionally feed right there. And now he's pinging Diana to blame her for his death, which I think is mostly his death. I don't know why he's fighting them in the middle of nowhere. It doesn't really make any sense. But yeah, so there you go. But yeah. Now, I will say, guys, I think that I raged too hard in this game. I do. I think I was an asshole. Now, I think it's partially defensible in the sense that I was being an asshole because these guys, I hope it's clear. I hope that it's more obvious. I think that this is a misplay for me. I think I should use my E and my basic attacks there, not the breath. But anyway, yeah, that's why I'm being mad about. Like, that's why I was raging so hard. I think I raged too hard, and I do think I raged too hard. But it's just, I just want to make it clear, because again, all the comments, so many comments were like, Nubkeks, you're totally out of line, and you fucked up. I just wanted to break it down so that you guys know why I'm raging. This is actually pretty nice. Bam, we're able to jump in, get a kill. It's actually pretty good. It's actually really good. You can see we're actually still up in XP as well at this point, right? Nice kill there too. Awesome. So I think, like, the Muradin, to be fair, he makes some good plays as well. He's just like blaming way too much, and then he's like feeding when he gets frustrated. But whatever. But yeah, like I said, I don't know. Like, I replied to a few other the comments on some of the videos here as well. You know, you guys have to understand. Like, one of the comments, actually, let me find this comment because I thought this was a really good one. Where is it? Where is it? I thought there was a really good comment, which I thought had some really good criticism of me. So let's go over that for you guys, right? Because that's, I'm sorry that this video is all over the place. Yeah, this one. I thought this one was actually really good. I hate these mega salty videos. Now, to be fair, if you're going to be wound up, just post a video. So, like, I can understand, obviously, people don't like them. In this case, that's why I put salt alert in all caps. People watch it anyway. But, I mean, for me, I think, okay. So, generally speaking, I say this is a concern for me. Because, obviously, I do get salty. So it can be tough to know. So, for example, this came out. I needed to record these videos. So, it's like, I went on. I need to stream all day. Bear in mind, this is, like, my main source of income, right? This is, like, my main source of income. Like, making videos. And Deathwing release is, like, the biggest thing the entire year, right? So it's like Deathwing releases day one, gotta go in, gotta record videos. So I need to get a good stream out for people to watch, because people want to watch the stream because it's Deathwing release day, they want to see it. I need to get videos up on YouTube as well. So there's quite a lot of time pressure. You know, switch off the game, have a break, take my own advice. This is like one of the problems, right? Is that, well, what happens if a streamer takes a, like, you know, you have a bad game, you say I'm pissed off, and you take an hour off, you know? Well, I still got to make those videos. I still got to make, you know, they still have to happen. Time is of the essence, right? It's not like, you know, like if I'm playing a game, when I'm playing a game for fun, then absolutely I can just walk away. And also, you know, if I stop the stream for an hour, guess what? No one's going to be there when I restart the stream. All the viewers, no, the viewers aren't going to sit there and be like, don't worry, dudes. Nubs is, some of them will, of course. But, you know, a lot of the viewers are going to go, they're not going to just go, we'll wait an hour. We'll just chill. No worries, dude. We'll just chill here until you're ready to come back. They're gonna go and do other things. Of course they are. So it's not good. So it's a problem for a streamer, right? Especially like it's a problem for me because I get really pissed off. And again, I want to be clear. I don't get pissed off necessarily because people are criticizing me. I don't mind that too much. I get pissed off when people are criticizing each other when it's not helpful because I'm like, that's just bad play. And I get really pissed off, and I completely lost my shit in this video because I was like, yeah, it's because these guys are criticizing when they shouldn't be in the first place. And then they're also criticizing and they're wrong. I'm like, that just drives me up the wall. That absolutely drives me crazy. I'm like, I just hate that. I don't know why it drives me so crazy, but it does. It just drives me absolutely bananas. Anyway, but yeah, I thought this was good. Again, I will be honest. I think I went too far in some of the things I said. That being said, at the same time, you know what? Like, I have to say that if you are in a game of Heroes of the Storm, I normally never, ever support people like going AFK. I think people rage quit way too often. It doesn't happen much in the higher levels of rage quitting. Like, kind of the Murden is the worst example that you usually see. Sometimes people rage quit, but it's very rare. More often people will just start playing like shit and they'll start dying. Like, kind of on purpose, that play badly. That's rarely common, right? But, honestly, like, if you go into a game, and, like, nearly all, like, 3 or 4 members of your team are ganging up on you to talk shit about you like they were to this tomorrow, honestly, no matter what level you are, again, maybe I said in this game it's just for GM players. I meant to say it's more practical for GM players, like, because they've got so many fucking points. Like, what's another 200 points? They don't care. It matters a lot to these guys. You know, it matters a lot if you're, like, at the bottom of Master, the top of Diamond, and, like, you know, some point changes could actually change your rank. If you got, like, 9,000 points and your GM number 10, what's 200 points here or there? It doesn't really bother you. So that's what, you know, the message in this, you know, it's very practical to do this. But for anybody, honestly, if your whole team is being a fucking dick, and they're flaming you and blaming you, and they're wrong, and they're just assholes, you know what? Power to you. Fuck, go AFK. Fuck them. I don't care, man. Just go, like, they fucking deserve it. Seriously, they do. Anyway, that's what I think about that. Which maybe you think is a dick move, but fuck them. That's what I think. Anyway, right. But I do think that these are really good. So, you know, these are much better points than what this is like the non-asshole version, really, I guess, for what I was saying. In fact, let me like and give it a heart, because I actually think it's a good comment, right? Never be an asshole. Insult your teammates in chat. If you're a streamer, have the grace to be equally as respectful on cam instead of calling people illiterate. Using someone's profile stats to make a juicy point. So, yeah, I think this one is interesting. You know, this is a bigger question that I want to deal with in this video. But hey, maybe we'll talk about this and how you should act as a streamer in another, because I think there is a very real debate that can happen there. And there's multiple sides to it, as you know. Yeah, that's a big discussion though, so we won't look at it now. But I think just it's generally good advice to try not to be an asshole. Start from the premise even GM players make mistakes of bad judgment, aren't beyond reproach. Doesn't mean you're being toxic. Sorry, 100%. I think it's legit to criticize the GM players. Again, like the thing that really pissed me off in this game, and again, you've seen it in the replay we watched so far. Did Samuro make any mistakes? Nope. He didn't. He played fucking great. Yet he's being blamed by these players that are much lower rank. Like, that's what pissed me off. It's like, why are you doing that? Why? It's like, I don't know. It's like, why? You know, you get the opportunity to play with someone that's like way higher ranked than you. Like, let's say, let's say you're in gold and you get to play, like, you're in gold 4 and cool, you got someone on platinum 1 on your team. I'd be like, oh dude, how is it playing with the platinum 1 guy? And I was like, oh man, I just like blamed him the whole game long. It was great. It's like, oh, well, why would you do that? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. I'm like, sure, criticize people afterwards, but like, why go into chat and shit talk somebody that's way higher ranked? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Like, obviously they can make mistakes, but until you've got the time to sit down and analyze, and look at it, like, if we could go through it, and like, I think Samuro made probably some misplays towards the end, perhaps. I'm not even sure. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. I want to check it, because for me sitting here, I'm going, well, this Samuro, he's fucking way better at this game than I will ever be. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I can go back at it, and I can analyze it and reflect on it and go, okay, well, I think he could have done this better, maybe that. But I'm not going to waste time in the game shit-talking somebody and blaming them when they're better. You just assume that they are better, and you roll with it. You play your best game, and then you can like look at what they could have done better afterwards. It's such a waste of time to blame people in the game. It's just it's crazy. It's crazy. Of course GMs make mistakes. Of course they do. Like, for example, I think at some point Samuro was like, well, fuck you guys, I'll go AFK. You know, like, for me, I probably wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know if I would do it myself. Like I said, I respect the decision, but probably better to just ignore them. I don't know. Whatever. I'm contradicting myself. Let's move on. That's bad. Never contradict yourself. It's bad. Perhaps number 3 could have been, instead of AFK and giving up, play as well as you can, because you never know when the enemy team fuck up, you can still win. Sure. I generally do take that route. Anyway, let's watch the rest of this. Yeah, like I said, I know. If everybody's a dick, fuck them. But anyway. Okay, so just for like the end of the video, we pretty much covered everything. I think this was the point where I reported the Muradin, because he's like goes in here, he's on his own, like Samuro is dead, I'm in the air and can't land, and his team is doing the Merc camp. So that's the point where I reported him, because he just, in my opinion, he fed over here and he fed down here because he was pissed off. So yeah, I thought it was like bad play. Let's watch Samuro. So yeah, that's the point that I reported him. There was a bunch of comments saying it was like I was false reporting and stuff. Again, I think you have to be taking a lot of drugs to walk away from this game and be like, okay, Muradin wasn't flaming in chat, and Muradin didn't like just run in and die to the enemy team like at least twice. I don't know, man. A little bit crazy. I'm actually quite curious to watch this. Obviously, we're sped up to see what the Samuro is doing. Again, right here, it's like, why is Chromie spam pinging Samuro? All she's doing is distracting him and making it more difficult to play. That's all you're doing, is you're making it more difficult to play. Just don't spam. Just be cool, man. Just be chill. Just be chill. Now Anna's getting pissed off. Yeah. Like, I think that's really important. Like, this is the way I look at it, right? Again, like I said, flame, like, go fucking ballistic in real life. Like, I don't know, punch a fucking pillow. Rip up, I don't know, your ex-girlfriend's picture. Like, get angry, whatever. That's great. Go for it. Doesn't bother me. I think that's kind of, you know, probably sometimes for some people that's a good way to deal with it. For some people it's not. It kind of depends. Everyone's got their own way of dealing with their anger. Or maybe some people don't barely get angry at all. I don't know. But, you know, do what you want. But team chat, you know, team chat is the skill that you're being judged on in the game, right? It's important. It's much like, you know, missing a whole bunch of skill shots, or, you know, not casting your heroic in a team fight, or walking into the enemy team by accident, whatever. You know, it's using team chat is just as much of a skill as that. It matters just as much as your hero damage, your siege damage, your XP soaked, is how you use the team chat. Needless to say. So right here, again, I'm not gonna lie, I think this is actually an interesting thing. I think this is actually interesting, where I actually think that giving up the curse here doesn't actually matter. This is something I mentioned in the video. I don't actually think it matters that much, because they were at 2 out of 3, so are we. You know, basically, the win condition on this map is typically going to be taking a boss or getting a late game curse, right? And that's how you're going to win the game. Their curse here is not going to do anything, because they're all dead, right? So I actually don't think that giving up the curse is that bad. Watching this back now, I wouldn't be surprised if Samuro missed that curse because everyone was pinging him. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. I think if that is the case, that just shows you. But yeah, like I said, this is the point. Like, I have to agree with what I said in the video. Like, I don't really blame. I could not blame him for getting pissed off here. Like, the amount of criticism that these guys, like, literally sending one critical message here to win this game. Like, okay, here's the thing. You can say something positive. You can be like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example, because there hasn't really been anything in this game that Samuro apart from like missing that tribute, potentially. Go quick match, please. Stop playing. Yeah. Okay, great. Sorry for the false report. He's clearly not toxic. My bad, team. My bad. I'm trying to think of stuff, but you could, let's say, for example, that he did miss a boss play he should have been at. You could be like, we lost the boss. It's like, that boss was really close. Can you come? Like, if you come next time tomorrow, I think we'll get it. You know, that's a decent thing to say. It's not a dick move. This is a team fight I think that I played like shit. So right here, for example, I think I should use my Deathwing thing down here. Obviously, I got baited by the Thrall. I think that's bad. So instead of using, for me here, instead of using my ultimate on the temporal loop, it's too slow and it's bad. I think I could have used that over this way earlier or saved it. Maybe just chase the Thrall and then ult in. I think would have been much better. I think this is bad play by me. You can see that it doesn't really do much, and now I'm out of position. So that was, I found it very funny, I'm not gonna lie, that when I got all these comments, everyone is like, you led your team, and you fucked them up and started a downward spiral. And we just watched it. That's not the case at all. But I think one person was like, you played the team fight shit later in the game. And I was like, yeah, you're fucking right. I did. That was really bad. I played that really badly. It was shite. That was terrible play by me. I think only one person pointed that out. Whereas for me, watching that back, I was like, oh my god, I was face palming when I watched this game back to kind of make this video. I was like, yeah, no, it's really fucking shitty. But anyway. So somewhere you can see he sent down a clone to join in. I think here we probably, this is pretty scary. I think we probably want to not. Okay, I think that is a mistake from our team just generally. I think right there, I think the Samuro made a mistake there. I think he did. I know I went through it very fast, but I think right there, I think if we let the boss reset and we backed up, we would have been better off. That's a bit tough though. I don't think that us trying to take that boss actually was the right call. You can see we got fucking destroyed in that team fight, and now we're all dead, so. Yeah. Now we dead. Muradin's pinging Chromie there. I don't think I broke the camera. I think Samuro just stepped away from the computer. He's like, fuck this, I'm done. Now you lose the game. Well played. Again, I'm sorry for the false reports, guys. I'm so sorry. He's clearly amazing. Muradin, you have issues with your head. Oh, man. Oh, my lord. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know, guys. So, yeah, I just found it was funny. I can appreciate that I was too salty and toxic, but I don't know. You guys are crazy as well. I don't know. You got to give me some of the drugs that you guys are taking, because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about sometimes, boys. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, I hope that was at least somewhat interesting, and I certainly hope it was very funny. I don't know. Actually, like I said, if I was to criticize something, I think that the only mistake I actually saw from watching this through that Ultralisk made, I think right there, I'd have to watch it through again because maybe I'm wrong about this, but I feel like we probably should have let that boss reset and tried to just get the fuck out of there. But I don't know. I'd have to watch it back. We're probably wrong to start the boss in the first place. I'm not sure, but I feel like that boss fight down there was probably really bad. We're kind of getting screwed. We're in a bad map position overall anyway. But yeah, there you guys go. What a game, boys. What a game. So much fun. Fun. Oh, Lord, the fun. But yeah. Right. Bye-bye. Fuck me, dude. Fuck me. This is why I rage. I'm sorry. I'll try not to rage as much in the future.